What's going on, YouTube? I'm super pumped today because I have got a Comic-Con exclusive item that I could not have gotten otherwise, but thanks to COVID and the fact that we can't actually go to cons, the exclusives were made available online and I was able to nab one. I've wanted one of these things to be created since 1994 when I first discovered Dragon Ball, and I'm so excited to review it. It is an exclusive Bandai working Dragon Radar with Japanese original sound effects on it. This thing is friggin' awesome. I would have liked to do an unboxing, but I could not wait. I had to open it immediately, and it's so much cooler than I even thought it was going to be. I even busted out my old Goku headband that I made that goes with a wig just for the occasion. But we're not going to keep it on because it makes me look really short because I'm actually this tall, and then you can't see the thing. But always enjoyed my little Goku wig. Usually worn in conjunction with an actual wig because I have no hair. But very excited to go over this item. So what we're going to do is we're going to open it up, lay out the components, and show you guys what's in it and how it works and what some of the sound effects are. I don't have time to go over every little detail because it just does so much. But I will show you the instruction manual, which breaks down all the details it does. Fortunately, there is some English. But I could not be more thrilled with the fact that it has Japanese language and Japanese sound effects on it. Not that I have anything against Funimation redoing the sound effects. My dogs, they're as excited as I am. But there is something special about just having the Japanese. When I was a kid, before the internet was really a thing, we only had dial-up. If you wanted to watch Trunks turn into a Super Saiyan, it took you about 5 hours to download that clip from that particular thing that we couldn't get in America. So what you had to do was go to a local import store. In my case, it was a store called HKT, and they had all Japanese games, Japanese toys, imports. It's when I found out that Mega Man was actually called Rockman in Japan, and I was able to find and get a hold of the original Gundam Wing HG grade models and things like that, because we were only just starting to get some of the anime from Cartoon Network. But before Cartoon Network got Dragon Ball was dubbed by, I believe, Ocean City, something like that. Anyway, and the first 52 American episodes were done, and that's all we had. And then eventually Funimation picked it up and gave us the rest with all new voice casts and everything, and it's the cast we know today. But when I was a kid, you just had 52 episodes, and they royally changed everything about Dragon Ball Z, but that's how we got exposed to it, and everybody wanted a Dragon Radar. Now they've made one, now we're going to check it out, and let's see what this thing looks like. I'm so excited. All right. So the first thing is it comes with this really cool stand. And if you check the stand out, it's not a sticker. It actually has in silver ink the Capsule Corp logo impressed on it, which I like a lot. It doesn't dock or lock or charge. On the back, it has Bandai Spirits, made in China, the whole spiel, the copyrights in Japanese. And then you can actually see the Capsule Corp logo on the back is the speaker. The speaker is a Capsule Corp logo, which is cool. And the stand cuts a little hole so it does not inhibit the sound. Back here is the reset button. So if you have a problem with your device, you could take a pin or something and poke that and get that done. As you can see, there's a series of screws that hold it together, and I've already put on the wrap. This does come off. You're not required to have the wrist wrap. You can just take this off and have it hang. So really like what we're doing. So obviously went with the classic white look. Some people have argued that it's silver, but shiny white is how it appears in the cartoon. Very Capsule Corp-esque. They've nailed the green. The green looks wonderful. Looks just like the show. I haven't actually gone in and counted how many squares are on the grid, but it looks like there's a hefty amount, and I don't know if that's consistent episode to episode. I've never dived in that much with a cartoon because it's drawn. You never know how many they do. Size-wise, you can slide this over. It's about 3.5 inches wide and just about 4 inches tall, so it's a nice size. I have pretty big hands, and you can see it fits very comfortably in my hand. Absolutely outstanding. The best part about this thing, though, is its functionality. So if you start this, oh, that OG Dragon Ball sound. Now, what you just heard, that was not Dragon Ball Z. That was Dragon Ball, which I love. So we start off, we've got the center dot is the red square, and if you press it, 7 Dragon Balls show up. Now, what's really cool is they don't show up in the same place every time. So, if I were to hold this down, it'll cycle through and reset. Click it once. And this is game mode that we're in right now. You got to capture the Dragon Ball. So as it cycles through, it'll cycle, and you got to try to hit the button right when it gets in there, and you got to capture all 7. So we'll cycle out of game mode because I don't really need to do this. But the game mode is just something fun that they added, which is kind of cool. It gives you the kind of going to capture the Dragon Ball concept. But the main thing that you want is the default mode is simple. Click it, you got 7. You can go about just like you're playing Pokemon Go out in the world, and when you find one, click it in. You'll take the closest one and say you got it. And then in an outward spiral, you'll slowly acquire all the Dragon Balls. So we click it again. That's 2. 3. 4. And as you can see, in a counterclockwise fashion, we're collecting all 7. And now that we have all 7, hit the button. That classic sound. Sorry, the camera's wobbling. I'm holding it. Shenron appears. I believe that clip is from Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z. So I believe that clip is from Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z, which is so cool. So you make your wishes. Dragon Balls disappear. And we're back to default mode. Holding it down will cycle it into game mode, as was mentioned. And if you just leave it, it'll turn off on its own. Now, when you first get it, this guy is ready to rock and roll. It has a little tab sticking out of the battery pack. You just pull that out and you're ready to rock. I was trying to figure out how to turn it off. Turns out it does it on its own. So let's grab the instruction manual. For crying out loud. So this basically explains how to use the... Ooh, that's upside down. Upside down. So, roleplay mode is defined... Let's see if I can actually get it to focus. Press the switch once. After start melody, a red triangle light shows in the center. As you can see, it just turned off. That's what that sound was. So you don't blow through your batteries. Plus, press the switch once. 7 Dragon Balls light up on the screen. And I believe I said earlier they don't always appear in the same spot. That's actually not true. I am mistaken about that. They do appear in the same spot. Press the switch again once, and you'll start collecting them until you get all 7. You hear the dragon appearance scene and the sound and the voice. Press the switch further. You can hear the dragon disappearance scene, sound and voice. Returns you to default. Game mode. The 7 appear, and then they cycle through that loop. So I guess there's just a string of LEDs that are in there. And so press the switch once, and then the game will start once the Dragon Ball moves around. If you press the switch and timing it when it comes into the red triangle, the Dragon Ball keeps at the center of the screen, and basically you're capturing. So the goal is to click the button when the Dragon Ball gets to the center, and you collect them all that way. And then once you get all 7, Dragon gets summoned again. So, kind of shows you the 2 different versions, and there's some QRC stuff in here, but basically it says product questionnaire, gives you a QRC in English and Japanese. This side of Dragon Radar, it's called Proplica, which I actually really like. Typical Japanese word mash fashion. It kind of shows you what to do. You take the thing out, your reset button, how to replace the cell batteries, what kind of cell batteries you need, how to attach the handle, how to dock it, etc., and you just sort of sit it in there. So, I gotta be honest, this is the coolest role-playing thing I think I've ever seen a toy company put out. I was so into the Scouter when it came out, but the scouter didn't attach to your ear. And so in that sense, it was a little disappointing because it didn't wear the way it did on the show. So I modified my scouter so it would wrap around my ear, and I actually came up with some glue methods to actually attach it to my face if I ever wanted it to really sit the way a real one did. But now that I'm just displaying them, I don't really care how they attach to my head. But this is going to sit next to the scouter. And again, just OG Dragon Ball sound effects in Japanese, where it all started. So cool. And the beeps are correct. And despite the fact that the speaker's so small, it does sound externally like it does on the show. I mean, it's just, any fan of Dragon Ball has to have one of these. I was so happy I could pick one up. And I just love that even the reverb is in there, which is just so phenomenal. I'm just so happy with the device itself. And so if you're a Dragon Ball fan and you have always wanted one of these like I have, I absolutely recommend picking one of these new guys up from Bandai. I'm sure they'll be everywhere. But these are the new Proplica guys from Bandai. It's got the Toei sticker on it and the Funimation sticker. So this is licensed both through both companies, both America and Japan. And of course, Bandai has always been the definitive Dragon Ball toy maker. It even has the Capsule Corp logo on the front, which is just too cool. And you can see that powered down out of non-use. So all the instructions on the back of the box are in Japanese, except it does show you the batteries that you need, which is nice. It says display stand, game mode, role play mode, 2 modes of play. Absolutely wonderful. And then Bandai has a little advertisement in here, which I will show you. Premium Bandai. What is Premium Bandai? Premium Bandai is Bandai's official online store. Action figures, jewelry items, ripped straight out of the anime, yada, 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 yada. Action figures and model kits coming spring 2020, yada, yada, yada. So this whole setup here is a nice little cash grab for them. I also like the decal. Let me see if I can get the light to capture this. You can see Bandai put their holographic sticker seal of approval on there. There it is. And it says Tamashii Nation. And has the quality sticker on it. So it's not Bandai's logo, it's Tamashii's logo. So very, very cool. Tamashi? Actually, sorry if I butchered the Japanese pronunciation. I thought it was always, the emphasis was always on the third syllable. But I don't, it's been a while. So yeah, this is just like, this is absolutely badass. So, final recap. Yeah, I mean, Dragon Radar. It's everything I've ever wanted since I was a kid. Dragon Ball Z used to air Sunday mornings in New York. Before Sunday school, if that was your thing. So I've heard these sounds my whole life, and I've wanted one of these since I was probably about this tall. And so the fact that I have one, and it's not just lights on a screen. As you push the button and you hear the sound effects, all the different Dragon Balls collect around just like it does in the show. So you could literally role play with this at a Comic-Con. Every time, you can pick 7 spots you want to go to, and every time you go to, you can click it and collect a Dragon Ball. So there are like 7 exclusive items you wanted to see, or 7 booths you want to go to, or 7 panels, or a combination of all, or maybe just 7 friends who want to meet up. You guys can use Dragon Radar. It's a fun thing. You may never use it. You could use it in a like a fan video if you wanted. You could just say like, you could get cosplayed up. I could put on my whole Goku, shave, and go out and look for Dragon Balls, make a YouTube video. And one of the effects I don't have to invest money in is a working Dragon Radar, because this will do it for me. So on the screen, it'll show the progress I'm making as I hunt for Dragon Balls. So it's really cool. I love that it comes with a display stand, so it's not just like, well, what do I do with this? I have to 3D print one or whatever. It's in the stand, it's ready to go. It turns off on its own, which is great. You can hear my dog playing with his dog bone right now. Put this back in the stand. I love that the Capsule Corp logo's on the front. They could have put the Bandai logo on it, the Toei logo, the Tamashii logo or the Funimation logo. They just put Capsule Corp on there, which is so cool. I have a Capsule Corp patch. I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan. I have been for years. I mean, Goku was arguably one of the first real cosplays I ever did. And the fact that they're still making Dragon Ball items, we can take this off actually, but the fact that I mean, this was like my first, like, how do you make a Goku wig? Well, I was like, well, I'll just put some foam on a hairband and then glue felt and hair to it, and I got a Goku wig, and it worked great. So like, I've been looking for economic ways to do Dragon Ball for a long time. Built Saiyan armor, not as good as Boba Carrera's, but whose is, right? You know, and I've been just doing Dragon Ball stuff and collecting random Dragon Ball bits and pieces here and there over the years, just because I'm so into it. And just the fact that they're still doing it. They're still doing it. They're still making Dragon Ball. Like, the Scouters came out, I was like, oh, gotta get a Scouter. The fact that they probably are going to have now working Scouters in the near future too is kind of mind-blowing, because that would be really cool. But Dragon Radar, man, I just remember they've come out with like a watch or a clock or a pocket watch or just little things that were like Dragon Radar, but not something as simple as this. And it is simple and it's affordable. It's like $20 and it's phenomenal. And it just kind of makes you wonder why in 2020 this didn't exist in 1995 when America was first getting Dragon Ball. Or Dragon Ball Z. We actually didn't get Dragon Ball first. We got Dragon Ball after Dragon Ball Z, which kind of doesn't make sense, but and you know, not everybody was into Dragon Ball, and I get that. I get that a lot. It was a very different flavor and a different, you know, Dragon Ball Z was kind of space adventure type deal. Dragon Ball had a little bit more of fantasy adventure aspect to it. So it was two different kinds of drawing, two different eras, really. Really, you know, Toriyama's style of animation really only lasted through the first arc of Dragon Ball. And then through Snake Way, you see the evolution of the drawing through the encounter with Vegeta. I guess you could kind of say like the Dragon Ball drawing style really ended at the end of the Saiyan saga, and then it became something very different. But at least Dragon Ball through Dragon Ball Z up to the end of the Saiyan saga is kind of like one entity. And then everything after that is very different. But for me, I got really excited about all the extra stuff. You know, going to Planet Namek and Frieza, and then of course the Cell Saga was everything to me. Buu Saga, I mean, it is what it is. It got a little ridiculous at that point. I was not a huge fan of GT. I really liked the specials. The Trunks story was very, very cool. I liked seeing that alternate timeline. The Android Saga was probably pushing the limit about what I could tolerate, but you know, the Cell Saga really was about as far as I went into it as a huge fan, and then it's just sort of a passive fan at that point. I love the movies. All the movies I felt were pretty relevant. Broly was my favorite. Old school Broly, new Broly, love it to death. Movie 12, the one where they're having the martial arts tournament and Trunks has the cutoff jacket, that was like, I thought, my favorite thing ever. Movie 10? Movie 12? I don't know. And then, you know, now Dragon Ball Super. I was really a big fan of Dragon Ball Super. I liked it a lot. It sort of reinvested my fandom. It reminded me a lot of the Dojinshi that a fan had done, where the multiverse comes together and has a big martial arts tournament, which Akira Toriyama actually signed off on and thought it was great. It was a fan Dojinshi, and it was very cool because it was all different timelines of Dragon Ball fighters fighting each other. They did something very similar in Dragon Ball Super, which I liked a lot. But I felt like Dragon Ball Super took it back to that sort of humor, campy, fun thing that OG Dragon Ball had a lot of. And yeah, the fact that they're still making movies and they're still doing stuff is so cool. I hate that people constantly use the phrase canon. It's not my favorite word because I don't care if it is or is not official. I just care about the content, and I don't care what really happened. And OG Broly isn't canon. Gogeta is canon, but this Broly... I don't care at all. You know, coming from the era where you downloaded Japanese episodes in 2-minute clips over the course of an evening on dial-up just to see somebody turn Super Saiyan that you've never seen before in America, like, I'm so grateful for content. I'm not getting into the whole what's canon crap. I don't care at all. But what I do care about is prop replicas. You guys know that. If I can't get it, I make it. but I love buying it. I love when someone else makes it and I can get my hands on it. It makes me happy. When it's an official prop and it's actually good, oh, that's just the best thing in the world for me. So even something simple like, you know, people mock toys all the time, but this is a talking sorting hat that you can get for $24 in any store. And it just sort of sits and talks. And you can take it to a kid's party, stick it on a kid's head, it'll sort them into a house. It's a nice material, it looks good, the mouth moves. To me, that's a prop replica. That's not a toy. That's a prop replica. It looks one-to-one, looks great. You can put it on your own head if you really want. But, like, toys don't get the credit they should, I feel. I feel like it's a little bit of like a stick your nose up at it, because, like, there's prop replicas and then there's toy replicas. I don't agree with that. I think a toy replica can be a fantastic prop replica, even with a little bit of modification. Guys like Cosplay Chris have shown us that you can do that with repaints and things like that. But for me, I don't turn my nose up at a good toy if it's a good prop, because I think you could do something with it. Foam swords with a nice paint job, some graphite powder, can make really nice replica swords. I mean, what are you going to do? Go to fight with it? Even the metal ones you can't fight with 90% of the time. Then it's not that kind of steel. So who cares if it's made of metal or if it's made of plastic or it's PLA or resin? It doesn't matter. As long as it looks good and you're happy with it and you're proud to put it up somewhere and point to it and say, that's mine, that's what that thing is, then I think it's a good replica. When it comes to cartoons and video games, it's more tricky because they don't exist in the real world. So I think you get a lot more license to play a little bit. And so to see Bandai push it and start getting more cognizant of the cosplay community and switch, you know, not that they're shying away from figures and statues, but they are making things, you know, they are licensing costumes. They are licensing the Scouters. They are licensing these Dragon Radars. And making them economic. It's not a $100 investment like Marvel does, where it's like you can get a really good replica for $100. Not that that's a bad price, but $20 for a plastic replica from a show that does everything you would want it to do. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I'm so happy Bandai decided to do that. I'm so happy that Funimation joined in on that, and that they're doing this in conjunction with each other. They're putting it out for us. And whether you're, you know, 40, almost 40 like I am, or you're brand new and you're young and you're just getting into Dragon Ball now, I think it's something that you should put in your collection. And I have a feeling that even though this little guy was an early release con exclusive deal, I have a feeling that you're going to have no shortage of access to these. I bet you they're going to be all over, you know, your basic Hot Topics, your basic comic book mega chains. Down here we have like a Newberry Comics, which is something you probably see this in a Newberry Comics very easily here in Connecticut. What you call it? Barnes and Noble. I bet you money Barnes and Noble will carry these. And you know, your basic costume stores coming up on Halloween, I'm sure will have it. You'll probably see it in the Spirit of Halloween or places like that. Maybe I don't know if you'd see it in a Party City. It's not really their MO. They don't really carry toys. But then you look at toy distributors. There are places that'll carry toys that'll have these. Where do you buy your figures? You know, will a Target have this? Will a Walmart have this? I don't know. They tend not to carry stuff with Japanese packaging, but it's possible. Maybe Funimation will repackage this and have an American release of it. It's hard to say exactly, but I think it's probably safe to say online purchase will be the best place to get it. The fact that it came with this advertisement for Bandai Premium, it's a safe bet that if you go to p-bandai.com/US, you're going to be able to pick this up. I didn't bother to check before I made the video because I was too excited to have mine. But yeah, I don't think anybody would have trouble getting it. If you're a Dragon Ball fan, a Dragon Ball Z fan, a Dragon Ball GT fan, or Dragon Ball Super fan, this damn thing is in all Dragon Ball. It's the common thread to all Dragon Ball. You can argue it's more Dragon Ball than Goku is, because it's always centered around finding the Dragon Balls, and you don't find the Dragon Balls without a Dragon Radar. Very briefly, the Scouter functioned as one in the Frieza saga, but the Dragon Radar was the definitive item that made it through all the series, and I've always wanted one, and now I have one, and the fact that they took the time and the detail to even make the speaker in the back, the Capsule Corp logo, makes me so happy. So I just stepped on my dog. So yeah, to finish this off, and I've been babbling here for a half hour, but Um, 10 out of 10 for Dragon Radar, man. Literally, I couldn't be happier with it. I can't come up with a way it would be happier. You could argue that if the Dragon Balls appeared in a different layout every time, it's kind of cool, but why? Who cares? The fact that you can collect them one at a time and still see the layout, that's fantastic. If you want to do the kind of like, well, I just want one to look on the screen and approach, I don't know about that. Maybe there'll be an app that'll do that, like Pokemon Go or something. It'll be like Dragon Ball Go. But I think in terms of a toy that's a replica prop, the sounds are there. You get to hear the original Japanese voice of the dragon. Will they make one with American sound effects? Maybe, but having all the OG sound effects, having 2 modes, being able to cycle through and collect all the Dragon Balls and summon Shenron or Shenlong, depending on how obnoxious you want to be about it. I just 10 out of 10, man. I couldn't be happier with it. And it comes with a stand with the Capsule Corp logo on it. I could put it right next to my Scouter and have a little Dragon Ball section where if you have a set of 7 Dragon Balls, now I still don't, and I know that's like sacrilege, but I have my reasons, and I will eventually have a set of 7 Dragon Balls, but I'm very particular about how I want them to be, and I may end up having to make them myself in order to do it the way I want it done. I just don't want a thin slip of printed stars in the center of an orb. I want something a little closer to what the show looks like, and so it's always hard for me to find, and they have to be a specific size, and the ones they make are just a little small for what I want. But if you have a set of 7 Dragon Balls displayed very nicely, maybe you have it displayed with a Shenron or Shenlong, you could put your Scouter and you could put this in that display, and that's a beautiful Dragon Ball display. I also happen to have my Capsule Corp patch in there, but yeah, so you got to get one. If you're a Dragon Ball fan of any kind, you have to have one. I can't imagine why you wouldn't get this. Just get this. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't get any money from Bandai or anything. I'm just a collector of props and maker of props. But if you're a fan of Dragon Ball, you must possess this. This is Dragon Ball. This is, more than Saiyans and Super Saiyans and all that crap. At its core, it was a bunch of friends hunting for magic balls. And this will let you hunt for magic balls. And it's accurate, and it sounds accurate, and it looks accurate. Even the green tint looks correct. It just, gotta get it. So again, 10 out of 10 for the Dragon Radar. And I actually just noticed the logo up in the top. It is the Dragon Ball logo. So this is based on Dragon Ball. So I was correct. It does have all the sound effects from the OG series. And you can tell because Shenron's voice didn't have all the super voice modulation and reverb. But Dragon Ball, OG Dragon Radar, even though I think this actual piece of drawing is from Dragon Ball Z. Now, how weird is that? Interesting. And you can get it Bandai Premium. I'm sure it's available on that website, p-bandai.com/US. This was a con exclusive that was available online to everybody because they didn't have the con. So anybody online could log on and pick them up while they were in supply. And for whatever reason, it wasn't sold out when I checked, so I picked one up. If you didn't pick one up, I'm sure you'll be able to. But if you get the opportunity, it's a $20 item. I wouldn't spend more than that. If you see some scalpers online selling this for $30, $40, $50, do not buy it. Don't support scalpers. Don't support people who buy up toys, then immediately turn around and try to make 20, 30 bucks off of you. It's not worth more than $20. You should buy it for what it's valued at. And if people are selling it for more than that, fuck them. And yeah, that's how I feel about scalpers. You're seeing it a lot with Motu right now. A lot of people are buying up the Masters Universe Origins, like right away. They're going to Walmart, buying them all, and then listing them for like double what they're retailing at. Don't do that. This stuff is going to be mass produced. This is not like a limited item. You're not going to have trouble finding this. I promise you. Just wait. Wait until you can get it at the appropriate price and let the scalpers fizzle so that they realize that this is a poor investment and a poor practice. I hope that you guys who watch this will take a similar stance as I do and promise not to buy from scalpers who mark up. My rule is I will never buy an item that's marked up more than 10% that is still in production. The reason I say that is because when an item's out of production, that is an entirely different set of morals because then it's about rarity. But while these things are in production and being made, you should be buying it from the distributor at value, because for every person who doesn't buy it from the supplier and buys it through somebody else, that's an item that the supplier made that may not sell, and then they actually lose revenue. So we could be killing future items and future production by hurting the success of that item by buying through stupid scalpers because we must have it now. Prime now. You know, like that's right. Ronnie Chang says that, Prime now. I don't do Prime now. I get it when I get it, and I'll get it from the right people. I do shop through toy distributor websites that are like certified. So if you get if you buy Super 7, you buy it directly from Super 7, or you can buy it through a distributor that is buying it directly from the supplier and not marking it up, something like a Big Boy Toys or something like that, whom I recently had some transactions with, and they've been really great. But eBay scalpers, Facebook Marketplace scalpers, or Facebook group scalpers who's like, I got my Dragon Radar, who wants this for $50? Fuck that guy. Don't buy from him. He dove in and bought those exclusives, maybe bought more than a few, and other people couldn't get it so that he could make money off of it. Fuck that guy. He has every right to do it, but we don't have to buy from him. So I encourage you, don't buy from scalpers. If you are a scalper and you're watching this, fuck you. I don't like you. You're the reason the toy community sucks and the prop community is worse. So if that's, get a real job to make money. Don't fucking scalp. That's how you make money, you lazy bastard. Go make some real money. Get a real job. I won't hire you, but, get a real job. So yeah, if, when they're available through proper distributors, buy them and watch the markup. $25 is the most I can see this selling for in a store because there is a shelving markup as opposed to buying it directly online. But 25 is like about it. I wouldn't buy it for more than that. That's my opinion. And if you don't like my opinion, don't listen to me. Go do whatever you want to do. You're going to do what you want to do anyway. I'm not going to influence you. But my suggestion is don't buy from scalpers. Don't spend more than $25 on the item. I don't think charging more than that is legit. Because it is what it is, I think a lot of people will want it. And I think that because they're going to mass produce it, like I said, I don't think anybody will have trouble getting it. But don't let its lack of rarity delude how great an item it is, even though it's plastic. There's my cat. It is a fantastic replica. It is a fantastic thing for Dragon Ball fans to finally have. Some people have been watching Dragon Ball since Dragon Ball started in Japan. So, we're going on 40, almost 50 years now of Dragon Ball. And so it's taken you 50 some odd years, 40 some odd years to actually get your hands on an actual Dragon Radar. So, like I said, I've been into this since about 95. That's about when I came across Dragon Ball. So if that's your jam, then prayers are answered. And it's economic, and it's functional, and it's great. And because it's made of nice plastic, it's very easy to maintain. Any chips or nicks, you can fill that in with basic epoxy resin and sand that out, and it'll look beautiful forever. Cracked screen is a whole other story, but I would strongly consider maybe a screen protector. If you really are that guy and you're really worried about it, you can cut a custom screen protector on it and give it a little more gloss. There's no touchscreen aspect, so that's not a big deal. But I would personally recommend that you pick one of these up. I am so happy with my Dragon Radar. Even if I never dress up like Goku and go out into the community, I might dress up like Roshi one day. But even if I never put on Super Saiyan armor or do anything like that again, I would just love to have it sitting on my shelf, knowing if anytime I'm feeling sad or something, I can just go grab my radar and check out Dragon Balls and be like, oh, I got some Dragon Balls. Like, it's just a nice little pick-me-up prop, and it's wonderful. And since I've been on vacation, my cat's a little clingy right now, and she wants to purr and get held. She killed a mouse for me, left it right behind me. Ugly, awful. But I have some other stuff going on that I will be making some videos about in the near future to show you guys. I have been casting some new molds with basic epoxy silicone impression molds that I'm using foam clay in. And I will be reviewing how those go because I'm casting them up for my Skeletor, which I did show you guys earlier. So I'm casting up the fingertip bits. I got some really good reference photos with Prop Store's recent listing of gold Skeletor props. As you guys know, the molds are exactly the same for God Skeletor and, Dark Skeletor. There you go, sweetheart. So I know that the fingers match. So because I know what those look like, I can now go in and use some of my skull jewelry and actually make some molds to create the fingertips that I need for my gloves to be a little bit more accurate. And using impression molds, I was able to create a couple different pieces. out of foam clay. And the reason they're foam clay is because I'm going to grind them down, attach them to the tip of the fingers on the gloves, and have them be the silver fingertips. And the reason they're foam is because if they're metal, they add weight and they clank. And yes, they're supposed to clank, but I don't have the ability to make pewter. And it's a big pain in the ass if I try to do it in metal. So I'm just going to do, and if I did it in resin, it would still clink a little bit. But I can manipulate the foam a little easier. So I'm doing some foam clay with that. I'll show you guys a little bit of what's going on. Also made some casting some random household items and other props that I have. I made some tech boxes for the gauntlet to finish those off as well. And they're in foam because the whole gauntlet's in foam. So a really nice way to achieve that look. Really loving the foam clay. The foam clay I'm going to be showing everybody in the next video is the air dry foam clay, which I believe this one is a Hobby Lobby pickup. So Michael's, Hobby Lobby, all have foam clay now. So that's kind of what I've been using. And I will be updating the pauldrons, so Skeletor's pauldrons, which go with the armor. That's the last piece of armor that I have to make before I get started on casting up about 57 of these, probably 60 actually. And then I actually picked up some of Evil Ted's silicone molds, which are heat ready, so you can heat them. You can also use foam clay or resin in them, and I use some black onyx, which cures at a really high temperature, really hot. Almost melted the Dixie cup that I mixed it in. And I casted some skulls with that. Let's see if I can get some light on it. I can't. And with, it's brittle, but black onyx just comes out gorgeous. So if you're looking to make something that you're going to cast again and you need a positive, black onyx is what I like to use for that from now on. And those are going to make some of the additional pieces on the costume as well. So Skeletor's still got a long way to go, and I'll be showing you guys some more going on with that. I also have some new updates to the Knights of Samaria Necronomicon. So books 7 through 12 got the new updates. So changed the page order in a couple places for fun. Added and replaced a picture with one that I had duplicated in the book more than once, which of course the original book did do a lot. But I tried to make it as unique as possible and use duplicates as little as possible. But I decided I just didn't like that this one page was so recognizable and duplicated more than once. So I decided to take it out and put it in an unofficial page that I had used, which used some artwork that I remade from the 2013 book, just to get a little bit more of the 2013 book in there, because some of those images I really liked. So that got inserted, and plus Christian Peters, who is a knight in our group, acquired a screen-used double layout Kondar the Destroyer page, which only appears in Season 2, Episode 1, when Lucy Lawless's children get a hold of the book and open to that particular page. It's only in 2 frames. It's the only time you actually see that book open to that page. But those pages, unripped, were acquired by Christian Peters. And so because of that, I was able to upgrade the look of the book. I had to make some alterations to the image and sort of go in and digitally paint just a little bit of it here and there, change the color saturation, change the backing page so it matches my book a little better. But so it's not exactly what you see in the movie, and then in sizing, just a little bit of a sizing change and stuff. But it is in the book now. So 7 through 12 get an upgrade, so I'll eventually be showing more of that on the Knights of Samaria page and theknightsofsamaria.com, which is our forum. So if you are not on Facebook, or you're not into Facebook groups, but you still want to see the best Evil Dead builds documented, and you're not interested in checking out the Ghost Beaters page or the Knights of Samaria, which is the OG page, then go to theknightsofsamaria.com. All the reference materials there, plus a ton of stuff from bookofthedead.ws, which is our host page. And thank you again, Rob, for hosting that forum for us and being a solid Knight and a solid Evil Dead fan and giving us all that great access that you do. So having said that, that's about everything that I have going on right now. The only other couple things I have going on are the Legend of the Seeker Sword, which I have shown a little bit of. And I have actually updated the paint to that. I have finished the blade for that. And now I have to attach the blade to the sword, and that's kind of where I'm stuck right now. So that's something I plan on finishing within the next couple months. And then the Sword of Truth will be done. And then Skeletor should be done in that same time frame as well. Then we're on to the repaint of the Inigo Montoya sword, the toy. With Halloween coming back around, people will be buying that again. I do want to show you an easy way to just make that look a little sexier. So we are going to go over that. And that's everything on the agenda going forward. So some more. And of course the Power Glove will be featured on Knights of Samaria as well. So 2 Evil Dead things. Always go to check out Knights of Samaria or theknightsofsamaria.com for all things Evil Dead. And then some swords. Inigo Montoya's 6-fingered man sword, which is a toy that we're repainting to look gorgeous, and it'll be looking just as good as the $300 replica, and you don't have to spend $300. How awesome is that? And then, of course, Skeletor. So all kinds of fun shit going on. And then the last thing, of course, is what we started here, what we came here for today, the Dragon Radar. Get the Dragon Radar, p-bandai.com/US. It is the Bandai Premium site, which has the Tamashii Nations affiliate with it as well. I absolutely am going to go there and see what other crap I can get my hands on that's just Dragon Ball, because I love Dragon Ball, man. But yes, please pick up, when you get the opportunity, your Dragon Radar, Dragon Ball, Dragon Radar from Bandai, licensed Bandai. It's got the Funimation, it's got the Funimation, it's got the Toei, it's got everything that's associated. Everybody was involved in supporting this. It was a con exclusive, but it will be available, I'm sure, everywhere in the very near future. It's their Proplica series, I guess, is a thing. So I'm not too familiar with it, but I'll do some research. And like I said, don't buy from scalpers. Don't let people pick this up in bulk and then sell it for $30, $40, $50, or God forbid they try to do more than that. If you don't need it today, wait it out, get it from an official distributor, and pay a proper amount. $20, $25 is what it is going to retail at. So just that is where you want to buy it. Fuck scalpers. Let their eBay sit and die forever. Don't encourage people to go out, steal shit, buy it in bulk, and then sell it at a markup for you so they can make easy money. That's just not cool, especially when stuff is still in production. It's just, I can't hammer it home enough. It's disgusting in the Motu universe seeing people do that. It's disgusting in the Star Wars universe. It just makes me sick to my stomach when I see these hounds circling the poor associates who are unboxing the figures, ready to put them out. One of my favorite things to do when I was a kid was go to Caldor, which is a department store like Kmart or Walmart, and go to the toy section and find the toy you wanted. I remember when they first released Kenner relaunched the Star Wars figures in the 90s because they were coming back to the big screen to precede episode 1. 3PO. They released a 3PO figure, and there was only about 1 a shipment. And I was like, oh man, I want to get a 3PO, I want to get a 3PO. And then the day I finally found one on a rack, I was just like, yes! It's the quest. You know, don't rob kids of the quest because you want to stand there because you don't work, so you have nothing to do at 10 a.m. on a Friday except sit there and wait for the poor stock person to open up and just say, give me all the Mando figures, give me all that stuff. And then you're going to go sell it for a markup. You suck. I hate people that do that. I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to know you. Don't bother. You know, you want to thumbs down this video, comment bullshit on this video, knock yourself out. I'm not even going to acknowledge or respond to you. Scalpers are the fucking scum of the earth. I hate you guys. You ruin it you're stealing from children. And, you know, a guy like me may not even buy the thing. I may just want to go to the store and see it, hold it in my hand and be like, oh, look how cool this is. This is pretty awesome. But I may not even buy it. 90% of the stuff I end up buying, I usually buy online. But I do like to see it and hold it in my hand if I can. You know, Baby Yoda is really the only toy that I actually went to the store and bought because I wanted it. And now that I've seen the quality, there other Baby Yoda stuff I bought is through online. I do have the talking Baby Yoda coming to me as well. I will put that up. I believe that's coming in December. The 7-inch speaking and reacting Baby Yoda. I have that coming in. When that comes in, I'll do a video for that. That's what I'm actually building my pram for. I've put a halt on that for the time being, just because I don't have the time. But I will get back to it because that figure is going to go in that pram. I've decided that my 11-inch doesn't look as good in the pram as the 7-inch one is. I bought the little 7-inch guy, and I really like the way that looks in the pram. So we're going to keep talking Baby Yoda in the pram. And 11-inch, I'll just have to come up with something else. But I am also doing that mod still that hasn't ended. I took the voice box out of the crying, cooing 7-inch Baby Yoda and put it into the 11-inch. I just haven't done a video on it yet. I will. Yeah, so that's really everything that's going on. A whole lot of talky, a whole lot of babbly. But the truth is, we have the time to do it with COVID. Many people are working remotely. I am not. I never stopped working. But I'm still finding the time to do these projects. I couldn't do these projects without the support of some of my friends and family, and I want to just end really cool. My wife is so cool. She supports my builds and my hobby, and is always very loving about it, you know. So, but she keeps it in check, but she does support my hobby, which I love. So I appreciate that. Thank you, baby. I have some friends who assist me with parts when I run into trouble. One of my favorite places to get custom things from is CB Studios. One of my favorite places to get 3D custom models and prints from is either Ultra Effects Studios, who worked with me on Legend of the Seeker Hilt, or Make Mia, which is an English gentleman's company who works out of England, and he has made a lot of the Evil Dead stuff that I have that is custom. Makes his own models, does his own prints, has nice high quality prints, does great models. If you need a custom model and you need a custom print, I would recommend talking to Ultra Effects Studios or Make Mia, which can be found on Instagram. Best place to find them. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, they're all in the Knights of Samaria as well. Some really great guys. CB Studios, if you need traditional sculpting, casting, things like that, latex, resin, whatever, definitely somebody to reach out to is CB Studios in Australia. Just, you know, it'll take 2 months to get whatever you're working on, but the quality speaks for itself. And the Necronomicon covers were sculpted by CB Studios, and a bunch of other Evil Dead props that I have were done in conjunction with CB Studios. And, you know, the guy who runs it just puts out the best shit. I'm very, very lucky that the Knights of Samaria has linked me up with so many talented builders and allowing me to realize some ideas that I've had that are just falling a little short of my talent, and it allowed me to benefit from other people's talent. And I just love that I've found a group of people who support and uplift the prop community instead of tearing it down and gouge and price and things like that. They're not out to get famous. They're very humble people, and they just want to make good quality shit that they would put their stamp of approval on, which makes them all the more cooler. So I have some other cool shit coming my way from CB Studios, which I'm very excited about. Star Wars oriented stuff, and I will let you guys know what's going on with that when it comes. And I also, one last thing I want to say, I did pick up the Smooth On Black Onyx Quick Cure set. This stuff sets and starts hardening quick, really quick. And when it's done, it is brittle as fuck. But I gotta tell you, it looks really, really good. The air bubbles are very, very minimal, if at all. And it cures hot, and it is brittle. But if you're doing a positive of something and you want to then remold that again once you've finished the set, adding the pieces to whatever you're making, I totally recommend it for that. I don't know how many finished products I do with it because, like I said, it chips easy, but I totally recommend using it if you need to make a positive to mold out of and you need it to be flawless looking. The other thing I might recommend doing with it is maybe coating the inside of your mold with a little black onyx and then filling that with a more flexible resin and let them sort of cure together. I'm going to try that and see what kind of result I get from it. It may be so brittle that it chips apart anyway, but it's a little more brittle than I'd like. It's very, very hard. It's very, very stiff, but it's just smooth, man. Really smooth. Smooth On makes some good shit, and I haven't really dove into it hardcore, but this was my first starter kit that I've used in terms of their resin, and I'm very happy with it. So thank you, Smooth On, for making products at an affordable price in a trial size for people like me who have small projects to be able to check it out. I didn't have to buy a 5-gallon jug of it, which is cool. So buy your Dragon Radar. I'm going to go hunt for some Dragon Balls.